What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unbreakable Grind. It's your guy CJ back with another video. All right. In this video, I do not want to persuade you to go to college, but rather I want to give you guys some game about a lot of lucrative opportunity that exists inside of colleges that no one told me about, nor have I ever really heard about outside of finding these things out myself. It might tip the scales for a lot of you as far as how you perceive college, and you might really be disappointed that you didn't notice if the time has passed, or really excited that you notice now if college is in your future. All right. So I made about 50K from college a year in college. Okay. So while I was a student, second year student in college, I was making $50,000 a year getting paid from the college. Literally, I had a salary to go to college. You can actually, and I'm going to explain how I did this. All right. So first I need to explain what a college or a university actually is, especially a research university. Okay. A university is a place that fosters innovation. It's an innovation institution. All right. That's really the point. I know you have sports, you have all these other things that exist, and you have student engagement and all that, but really, universities at the core are to fund research, to fund innovation. Now, how does this happen? We pay taxes. The taxes goes up into this big fund. That fund gets split up into different initiatives by the government. Okay, the government has a specific allocation for university innovation. There's a fund. Literally a chunk of the money that we pay in taxes goes straight to university innovation. Now, this is important because that fund is billions of dollars. All right. It's a lot of money. All right. Now, that money goes straight into the bloodline of universities. Now we need to understand how the universities receive this money. Okay. So this big fund doesn't just go to all universities evenly. Researchers are competing for notoriety and prestige so that they can get a bigger piece of the pie, if you will, right? So if you're familiar with research, you'll probably be very familiar with the idea of pushing papers, like crunching papers, pretty much trying to get as many paper publications as you can, trying to get as much notoriety as you can from a researcher perspective. Researchers are trying their best to innovate, find things out, and publish papers so that they can increase their notoriety and pretty much by doing so get a bigger piece of this big pie that exists of money that comes down for research innovation. Now, what does this mean to you as a person in college? All right. So what this means is the researchers at your college are receiving a piece of this pie, right? This money is for them to fund the materials and the resources they need to innovate and to do their research. A portion of that money goes to research assistants. These are people that assist the researcher, whether it be a 100% researcher or a research professor who's receiving the money. They have an allocation to hire research assistants who can be students. You can be a student research assistant. At my university, these students could get paid up to $3,000. Okay, this is a big deal. $3,000 a month. Okay, so a lot of jobs a lot of people don't have jobs that pay $3,000 a month. So we're talking about a $36,000 salary that you could be getting from being a research assistant, and this work can go as a course allocation, meaning you can actually get course credit while getting paid $3,000 a month, which means it's a double win. It's helping you finish your degree. It's a triple win. It's helping you get your degree, you're getting the skills, and you're getting paid at the same time, a competitive amount of money. Okay. Now, what's the strategy? The strategy is first you have to understand that the research is usually done around STEM majors. STEM majors tend to have the most research. Okay. And many people might not know this because many people don't go into STEM majors. But if you go into a STEM major, there are going to be research departments in every one of the STEM departments. And all of those researchers are going to be receiving some amount of grant money from that allocation. And you can find this out by going to your university website. You can literally type in grant funding on your university website, and you'll see how much grant funding is coming in per every researcher. What I did is I went and found the largest researcher at my university. That means who's receiving the largest funds. If they're receiving the largest funds, that means they've got the highest notoriety, which you already know. That's why they have that big piece of the pie. That means they have the most money to allocate out to students. That's how I was able to get some of the competitive money, the competitive amounts of $3,000 a month. All right. Now, this is significant because I was able to make $36,000 starting my sophomore year of college every year just from this alone. You couple that with my internships, and I was making roughly $50K to $60K while in college. Okay, so while in college, just got out of high school a year ago. We're talking about a $50 to $60K salary. Technically, they don't call it a salary, but I call it a salary. Roughly $60K, and I'm a year out of high school. And a lot of people complain about not being able to go to college because it's a waste of time, and it's a waste of money, student loans. But really, if you do what I'm saying right here, you can actually avoid student loans 100%. You also can stack scholarships with this, so you can actually have your scholarships pay your classes, and you can still make all this money. So this is something I've never heard of. It's quite fascinating. I thought about it earlier. I was like, man, how did I was really thinking, how did I actually save so much money so early? And I had to think about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I took advantage of these opportunities, and no one knows about those. That's why I got so much money so early. And another thing I did, just to throw it in there, it's just a little bit more game that you guys can use, is I knew that I wanted to meet my significant other in college because I wanted to meet someone smart and a STEM major who was just as smart as me. I did that, and my girlfriend at the time did everything I did as far as the research, the strategies, and she was making 50 to 60 also. So we did all the same things, both did internships. So we were making 100 to 120K household income. We weren't married at the time, but we were putting everything together, and we're making like 100 to 120K. I'm talking like a year out of high school while getting a degree, So you can understand how, we were able to, if you watch some other videos, I still accumulated $200,000 in student loan debt between me and her. We still got that much because we didn't know about loans, and it was a stupid thing we did. I was literally told you don't even have to pay loans back. Stupid miseducation on my part, but I did a lot of things right. We did the research assistant thing together, and we saved a lot of that money. So that's how we were able to pay a lot of those loans off very quickly once we got out of college. But also, we were doing the internships on top, and And now I want to go to the next thing. I want to jump over to the next thing that you guys that's really interesting about college. The next opportunity is really useful or lucrative that a lot of people don't know about. And that's going to be the SBIR grant. Okay. The SBIR grant. So like I just told you, the university is a place that fosters innovation. All right. Now, the thing about this innovation from the researcher's perspective who actually received this big chunk of money, they don't care about doing anything with the research besides innovating. Pretty much as soon as they innovate, they find something out, they publish papers, and they just lay it on the shelf. Okay. And they just go right back to trying to innovate something new. Right. So kind of like a light bulb can probably go off in a lot of you guys' head and make you wonder, why won't you do anything? Why won't you create businesses from this research? If you're coming up with all these innovative findings, why won't you use that to actually create businesses and you can become very rich? Technically, isn't that what Elon Musk did? He innovated and then he became rich with the new battery technology, right? Well, that's what SBIR. This leads to, I'm sorry guys, this leads to what we call the SBIR grant. Look it up, SBIR grant. Pretty much a large chunk of money, another large chunk of money that's allocated from taxes, okay? We pay the tax money, some goes to this innovation through universities, another chunk goes to this SBIR grant funding. This SBIR grant is literally for a person, an entrepreneur, to be able to go and say, hey, go to a university and say, hey, this is some very amazing research you have going here. I believe it can be very lucrative as a business. The SBIR grant is a grant that helps entrepreneurs with these ideas, the idea to take research and take it to market. So the SBIR grant is literally a tool that you can use to go to a university and say, that's some nice research you guys have there. Can I take it and see if I can make a lot of money with it? And the government has a big chunk of money, usually allocated in chunks of $1 million. Look it up. And you can use that money to literally fund your business and grow your business from the research at the university. Think about this. So what did I just say? Taxes are paid and the allocation goes to innovation. The researchers want a piece of their innovation pie, so they innovate so they can have more notoriety, so they can take advantage of some of that money out of that pie. Right? Where we come in, I'll just throw that in there. We can be the research assistant, and we can get a little piece of that pie to actually help them out so they can reach their goals faster and they can fulfill their duties of that contract. But once they actually finish innovating and they get their papers and they publish those are laid on the shelf. Now you have another chunk from the taxes. The entrepreneur can come in, whether they went to college or not. The entrepreneur doesn't have to go to college at all. So this is an opportunity you can take advantage of if you went to college or not. The entrepreneur can walk in, say, there's some nice research that you guys came up with. Let me just take that and let me use some of this SBIR grant money and let me use that money to create a business and see if I can create revenue around this idea. And can I see if I can turn this into an actual lucrative idea? And there's a bucket of money for that also. So a lot of people that you see becoming very, very rich off of innovations that come from universities, they're using these grants. I've seen someone do it before. It's a tool that I've been in process of using before, but some of the ideas fell through. I'm pretty sure I'll be using some of these in the future, and I have no reason to hide it because this is a huge bucket of money that a lot of people can take advantage of. Okay, now, cool side story to this also. Okay, a lot of times I preach this STEM approach, and I preach STEM and engineering and stuff because really there's a lot more money than I can ever explain to you in these opportunities. Pretty much every large company that you know about that's in technology grows. They originate from research. So there's a research paper published. The smart guys are reading these papers. They're waiting for the right findings to present themselves, and they're taking these ideas to market. And these geniuses that you think are very smart are actually riding the backs of this big government funding, this big fund of money the government has from our taxes. So it's an amazing thing that I understand and I see because I was so close to the research, but I never hear about it. It's something you'll never hear. This information is so freaking insane. I would probably have to do another video on it and just go into the whole process. But there are a lot of ways to win from university. Okay, I'm not going to even go into how I just need a whole nother video to go into how you can save the 50K, the 50 to 60K, and in my case 120K because I was using the money with my girl too, and how you can invest that, and then how the salaries when you leave, and then you can all the skills help you get the SBIR, and you understand. I really can't go into all the game in one video. I really can't. But I will say that there is an immense amount of opportunity around STEM. You don't have to go to college. But I promise you, I believe there is an intentional trick being done around this college thing. Okay, you've got. I don't know a better way to say it. Hey, but at the end of the day, if you do or do not go to college, at least you've heard some new information. And I hope that you like this video. Comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know some of the things I brushed over too quickly, and that will let me know if it's a good idea to go back and make a video to clarify that, so that you guys can really be on the same page with some of these opportunities. And yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna have more content coming, and peace. All right, guys.